Welcome back to Pause and Respond. I'm Josua Rine, licensed professional counselor. Today we're talking about something that sounds good on the surface, but quietly destroys people underneath. And that's trying to be easy to love, trying to be low maintenance or not needing too much. Always trying not to disappoint anyone or upset people or to be seen as a burden. Trying to earn the love of others by being convenient. And the tragedy is many people spend decades becoming easier and easier to love while feeling less and less loved themselves. Because love built around performance eventually creates exhaustion. And relationships built around self-erasure eventually create resentment. And that's what we're unpacking today. Because you were never meant to earn connection by disappearing. Most people don't wake up one day and decide, I want to abandon myself. These patterns usually begin much earlier. Maybe you learned that expressing emotions caused problems. Maybe your needs were ignored, or maybe you learned that being strong was needed for earned approval. Maybe asking for help brought criticism instead of support. Maybe vulnerability felt unsafe because it was. Maybe love seemed conditional. And due to these events, the nervous system adapts. Don't ask for much. Don't need much. Handle it yourself. Try to stay agreeable. Keep everyone happy. And for a while, those strategies worked. People praised you, depended on you, trusted you, needed you. But eventually, something starts breaking inside because you realize something painful. People love what you do for them, but you're no longer sure they know you. One of the loneliest places in life is becoming the person everyone depends on, while feeling like you have nobody else that you can depend on. You're the strong one, the calm one, the responsible one, the helper, the fixer. Everybody comes to you, but you rarely go to anybody else. And after years of carrying that identity, you become exhausted. Not because people are bad or malicious, but because somewhere along the way, you taught everybody, don't worry about me. I've got it. I'm fine. I can handle it. And eventually those people believed you, which creates a strange kind of sadness. Being appreciated, but unsupported. Being needed, but unseen. Being loved, but still lonely. People pleasing is not love. So let's say something important about it. It's fear wearing the clothes of kindness. It's fear of rejection, conflict, disappointing people, of losing connection. Because healthy love does not require constant self-abandonment. Healthy love allows honesty. It allows for needs and limits. And most importantly, love allows for humanity. But many people confuse being useful with being lovable. And usefulness and love are not the same thing. Because eventually, usefulness runs out, energy runs out, patience runs out. And if your entire identity is built around being needed, you may not know who you are when you stop the performance. And this is why resentment eventually shows up. People who constantly make life easier for everyone else become secretly angry. Not because they're selfish, but because exhaustion eventually exposes the imbalance, and resentment begins asking the painful questions. Questions like, why am I always the one giving? Why doesn't anybody ever check on me? Why do I always carry everything? Why do I feel invisible? But many times, people aren't responding because they never knew. Because you spent years convincing everybody that you were okay. And this is where honesty becomes so important. Because resentment often grows where honesty disappeared. Think about this. If everyone only sees the version of you that never struggles, never needs help, never says no, never gets overwhelmed, then that's the version that's going to receive their love. Because that's all they've seen, even though it's not the real you. And eventually, part of you begins to wonder, if I stopped being useful, would anybody still stay? And that's a terrible question. But it's also a revealing question. Because love built entirely on performance will always feel fragile. Love built on honesty creates security. Because now you're loved not for what you provide, but loved for who you are. One of the strongest things a person can say is, I'm tired. I need help. I don't have this figured out. Can't carry all this alone. I'm struggling. Those are not weak statements. They're human statements. And here's the irony. The things people fear will make them less lovable, often create deeper connection. Because vulnerability creates intimacy. Not perfectionism, not performance, and not self-sacrifice, but simply honesty. And this is where the pause and respond framework becomes powerful. Because instead of automatically saying, I'm fine, you pause. Instead of immediately carrying everything alone, you pause and you ask yourself, what do I actually need right now? What am I afraid people would think if they knew? Where have I mistaken self-neglect for strength? And then you practice honest communication, not dramatic communication, but honest communication. And that might sound something like, I know I usually carry this myself, but I could use some support. Or maybe I'm struggling more than I've been letting on. Or simply just saying I need help or I'm not okay. It's appropriate to be simple, human, and real when asking for support. Now, many people are trying to earn with healthy relationships, freely give. Things like love, support, understanding, grace, connection. And that's exhausting because love that must constantly be earned never feels secure. But emotionally healthy relationships are not built on perfection. They're built on truth. People do not need you to be superhuman. They just need you to be real. They need you to be you. Now, the goal here isn't becoming less loving. The goal is becoming less performative. Because connection does not require you to disappear. It requires you to be known. And the strongest relationships aren't built around who sacrifices the most. They're built around honesty, mutual support, and understanding. Because you were never created to spend your life trying to become easy to love. You were created to experience love without having to erase yourself to receive it. So today's challenge, ask yourself, where am I trying to earn love? Where have I confused being useful with being valuable? Where am I afraid to let people see my humanity? And what would change if I stopped trying so hard to be easy and started allowing myself to be honest? Now, if this episode connected with you, the new book, Pause and Respond, The Honesty Advantage, goes much deeper into emotional honesty, people-pleasing, emotional intelligence, and learning how to communicate clearly. You can get the books, workbooks, podcast resources, and all the information for personal online coaching at pauseandrespond.com. And if this episode helped you, share it with someone who has spent their whole life trying to be strong for everyone else. Because maybe they don't need to become easier to love. Maybe they just need permission to stop hiding. This is Pause and Respond. Less reaction, more choice.